to introduce myself, my name is Arunav. I'm with IT industry, probably I would say, instead of calling out my organization's name because I'm not representing them today. For almost a couple of decades, love learning technology and applying them for solving any kind of business problem from any industry. Though my primary association has been with supply chain for over a decade now, but I do also work with collaborators from other industry as well. Today we'll talk about revving up cloud with AI. And when I just got the invite and I just looked at the tagline for the event today, it said shift of cloud from infra solutions to business strategy. And I thought, why not I also try to align my content that way, right? Okay. So if we see, right, so we are revving up cloud with AI, and then we also think that AI is today possible because cloud is there, right? So I feel both of them are going hand in hand, right? So I thought this probably represents it well, that how both of them come together to make it happen for all of us, right? Few things that I want to touch upon today is what AI means for business. As we said that we want to move from infra, just looking at it from an infra or a technology per se, and looking at form of a business strategy, right? We'll talk about where AI is from a maturity and adoption per se, what it means to make AI available for all, if we have to really get the benefit out of it. How does AI and cloud come together? And then we'll also talk about what we mean by AI at scale, right? So I have a bit of different thought process there. Now, before even I go further, I would like to give credit to all my content. They are from internet, and I'm not a PhD guy, okay? So it's my thoughts that I see resonating with these papers probably, or content from the consulting teams across the globe, right? So please don't think that I'm a PhD guy, hey, he knows everything. No, nothing like that, okay? Right, so I'll just like to briefly touch upon few aspects when we talk about AI, right? And though we know that, hey, it's the big technology, but why not look at it from a business capability angle, right? And if we are looking at it from a business capability angle, I would like to think what are the typical business needs that it can help us solve, right? So one big area where AI is in play or can help us is the automation, right? Robotic process automation is a big area where AI is coming and helping in a big way. What we could not think probably even 4 or 5 years back is possible today, right? I'm not going to drain you through the content, right? The other one is the cognitive insight. So if you want to crunch a lot of data within seconds and get insights from it and make decisions, it's only possible if we have AI today, right? Applications are various, right? But just think that, hey, could we had analytics for so many years, more than a decade, couple of decades we are doing analytics, right? But what is possible today was never there earlier, right? Just go back 3 or 4 years, no, right? Google has just revamped their whole ML platform, right? So even the biggest players in the market are still figuring it out, still improving what they are doing, right? And the third thing is where it is probably touching customer experience directly, right? So we see all your Google Assistant, your Alexas of the world, your voice recognition systems, all those use your NLP to make sure that it can give a response the customer wants, right? Again, there AI is coming into a big play, right? So if you look at this, probably are the 3 top business needs where we see AI playing today, right? So it's more of a capability that we can think of helping us to solve certain business needs, right? Moving on, so what are the benefits that we get? So if we are leveraging AI, if we are leveraging AI on cloud, what do we get? We get the efficiency and productivity that was unparalleled, unthinkable probably, right? Again, the speed at which the innovation can happen today. So I was just talking to someone from Cisco a few days back, and he was leading a team, but they said that it took almost multiple years for them, 2-3 years for them with around 100-200 people to build certain monitoring capability of the network, which they can now do probably in a week's time with 2-3 resources. Right? So the amount of the speed to the market, and you don't need everybody to be big analysts and data science experts, right? There are so much of services available out there which can be leveraged out of the box, and we can drive innovation much faster today. Again, new capabilities and business models. So I hear a lot about solving hunger problems in Africa. We have so many use cases, right? There are farmers using the data in an unthinkable way, how they can save crop. So there are so many use cases across the world, and all these opportunities are just opening up by the day, right? And I'll probably, I'm jumping some of the content. I see that it's more on the business today to think what use cases they want to solve, right? Technology is out, available today. Right? Better customer service, again, right? Much more hyper-personalization is what we are calling today, right? Earlier we used to call it personalization, but now we talk about hyper-personalization. Improved monitoring, again, I was giving you an example of networks. Networks probably are one of the largest gainer from this. There is oil and gas. There's so many fields where monitoring is very key to predict when something might go wrong, right, and prevent it. There is weather data today used in a big way to determine what kind of energy supply should be there on our national public power grid, right? So many use cases are there where AI is coming in big force, right? Better quality and reduction of human error. Again, when we do mundane tasks, day over day, we do mistakes, right? Simple ledger work in banks earlier 5 years back versus today is very different, right? So all the back office work that is to happen where you want to, just simple thing, update your address in one of the bank system is to take days, multiple places to update, manual, some places will go out of sync. All that is done through machines today, right? All RPA use cases. But you have a big, what should I say, focus today where you want to make sure that the fair play is there, right? There is no bias, you have equitable pay, all of that, and there are so many HR products out there in the market today who are leveraging this, right? So they are leveraging this to make sure that it gives you the data right on your face, saying that, hey, do you have a pay gap? Are you playing some bias in your promotion, right? So many things are coming in which at least the large organizations are able to utilize today, and making sure that there is a equal opportunity for everyone in the market. Right? Moving on, how are you doing in time? Okay, not too bad. Okay, I just wanted to look at where we think we are from a maturity per se, right? So this is an analysis done by Accenture. I'm not sure if it is too visible. Apologies for that. I thought it was. All right. So they are saying that AI would mature faster than digital, and they are saying that we are already at the at the point where things have just taken off, right? So all the building of platform, evolution of technology is matured, platforms are available, and we are at the right sweet spot to utilize them to solve our business problems, right? Gone are those days where we had to figure a lot of things ourselves, even trying to do a small use case to demonstrate a capability, right? Coming from where different organizations are, if you really see, only 10 to 12% they're saying have mastered it, right? So there is still a lot of room for improvement. Around 13% have mastered it, but they are not able to operationalize it, right? So what does it mean? We'll talk about it further. And almost 65%, so more than almost 2/3 is yet to figure it out, right? So you don't need to worry if your organization or if yourself feeling that, hey, where am I? Am I left out? No, right? But you should understand that this is going to be the driving factor when it comes to winning the game, right? To get the competitive advantage, to make sure that you are ahead of your business, this is the key today. Right? Data, data, and data. I'm sure some of the sponsors are happy. I'm sorry, none of my content is sponsored, but some things will align. Right? When I talk about, so we talked about AI, and we understand that, hey, this gives us a lot of capability that we have today. So where does cloud come into the picture, right? So why do we need cloud, right? We have AI, we know that we have NLP, we can do models, we can build our models, we can train them, we can deploy them, we can leverage them. Why do I need cloud, right? So when I need power, one sunny summer afternoon, do I put a power grid in my backyard? No, right? Right? You want it to be available when you need and how much you need, right? So it should be something that you can consume, right? And that's what cloud brings to us in plain simple terms, right? Most of us do not have the resources other than probably Alibaba people here, right? Where we can build our own infrastructure where and process so much of payload to get the insights that we want, right? It is nearly impossible, and that's where the early, if you see earlier days, right, it was quite limited. The use cases were quite limited to certain organizations who had deep pockets, right? Others were still struggling with it, right? But recent years, if you see, just 1 year or last 2 years, if you see, right, the advancement you have in Azure, the advancement you have in Google, right, multifold, not even incremental. It is multifold what you can do today, right? If you have something, just think that you want to add to it, please feel free, right? It should not be a monologue, I'm just talking something, right? What is the advantage that we get when we deploy on cloud, right? So one big thing is we have a cost saving, right? We do not have to build the infrastructure ourselves anymore, right? We can leverage as we need. The cost of that service is much lesser when we are using from a public cloud provider than if we had to build ourselves. Productivity gain again, right? Automation is what I was talking about from an RPA perspective. We can automate all the mundane tasks, make sure that they are error-free. We do not have the spend on the human capital otherwise to do those jobs so much and so forth, right? Analytics is a big area where mining the data, so much of data that is coming in today from every business, right? So we have enabled all sorts of, we call it omni-channel, right? So data is coming to you from every direction. How do you take that data, ingest that data? How do you analyze that data? How do you get your insight out of that data? Right? Data management, so the data itself, probably I'll go deeper in the next couple of slides. So data management, when I say, right, that is another big area. First of all, availability of big data on cloud. How many of us are very happy with that? Any smiles, right? So ability to store, retrieve, making it available as we need, that capability itself, it's so huge, right? On top of that, when you can secure your data, when you can make sure that your compliances are taken care of, right? So that all that power is coming to you by the providers who are able to do it in a much economy of scale, right? And we can now leverage it as we need it, right? Better SaaS tools, again, a lot of applications are able to leverage the AI services and build a better product for us, right? So we are able to consume those. So we see a lot of things embedded today, right? Facial recognition, voice recognition, so many things are embedded today. Chatbots, if you see, right, one of the probably most popular one, embedded in most of the products that we see today, right? How is it possible? Is everybody going to be able to write from scratch? No, right? You don't have to do today. I just wanted to touch upon, to talk about how cloud and AI comes together, right? So we can look at it from how we use it, right? And I think probably this is one important point to note, more from an implementation side, right? So if we have to use it, what do we have to do? So we have two ways of using it. One is we have these machine learning platforms these cloud providers provide to us, and what we can do is we can build, train, deploy, and we can use those platforms to build our own models, train them, deploy them, right? The other side of it is that we can just consume them as a service, right? So there is a facial image recognition service. There is so many services available out of the box, right? That we can use, and we don't have to then build our own model, don't have to do any of those, right? So earlier, if you were talking about AI to some people, no man, I can't do it, right? I don't have resources, I don't have people, I don't have expertise. How am I going to build my team? Where I'm going to get people to build models for me? Who understands all this? No, right? Nothing required, unless you are really going and having a business case which is so unique to you that you have to build models from scratch, right? Again, when I just probably this topic is little away from the left side and right side are probably not balanced, but I just wanted to touch upon edge, right? So when I'm not going to go deeper into edge AI, but that also plays a big role, right? So whenever it comes to making sure that we have some time sensitive use cases, that's where your edge comes into the picture, right? So there is a lot of collaboration happening to get more out of the edge AI, right? So we do not want, so there say for example, there are some data compliances issues because of which you are on a hybrid cloud, you don't want your data to go to the public cloud. What do you do, right? So then you can use, one of the use cases is you can use edge AI, but how do can my mobile handle it? No, right? So if you see there's a lot of collaboration happening out there. There is Microsoft and Qualcomm coming together. There is AWS and Intel coming together, Google on its own, and they are creating TPUs and the processing units at the edge layer that can handle that much of information, process it, and give you the output, right? So big focus is on the edge today, right? When it comes in terms of cloud computing or when it comes in terms of edge AI per se. This probably is one content that I would like you to just take one more minute in case you have any thoughts you want to share, because this is where it comes to when you have to take it to your organization and solve certain things, right? That which path do you take? Where do you do? What do you do? I just wanted to highlight a little bit on the market today, right? So if you see, a lot of work is happening on the North America market, also because biggest players are out there, right? So there are players also in the Asia Pac, right? Alibaba is big there, and I was happy to see that they have almost 20% market share in APAC, right? I'm sorry if I'm quoting the number here and there. The market is growing extremely fast, right? So it's a 20% CAGR they have, right? And again, it is yet to mature, right? So still extremely competitive, extremely fragmented, if I would say it, right? And another thing that is playing a big role here is the hybrid cloud, right? So not only that you are building, if you are a platform provider, not only you are building capabilities in your platform, but you are also making sure that you have a hybrid cloud capability, you have your tools, you have your solutions that can cut across, multi-cloud, hybrid cloud, all of that, and making sure that, when a consumer or a business wants to leverage it, they don't have to again, build an army to figure it out, right? Otherwise, again, those competitive advantages will be gone if you really look at it, right? So not only you need to have the technology, the platform, but also the tools and solutions that businesses are going to leverage to utilize them to, solve their problems. So that's also going to play a big role when it comes to, the success of the platform. Now, this is something, again heavy content, but I'll just walk you through, right. So, when I talk about AI at scale, right, I want to talk about, is it just the technology that is required to make AI successful for my organization, or is it something beyond, right? And if you really see how, the organizations are spending today or investing today, if it is 30% in technology, the rest is in process and people. Right? So this should be one of I would say, a big takeaway for all organizations, that unless you align your process and people, you are not going to succeed. And we saw that only 10% is succeeding today, right? When I talked about the maturity, this is one area where lot of POCs are happening. People are able to build something, shows that it will work. But then if the business does not align, if you are not ready to change how we make decisions within the business, right, and not leveraging these solutions, extracting the insights these solutions are giving us, then it is not going to work, right. So it's not going to operationalize, and then we would have so much of investment done, but no ROI. Right? Again, I have just mentioned some of the scenarios where AI takes it all, or human takes it all, right. So if you see on the left, you have AI taking it all, and on the right you have human taking it all. And where do you do what, right? So some of the examples I have listed where it is very, very straightforward, it is repetitive, what outcome is supposed to be, is a simple use case for pure AI, right? And otherwise, if you see the middle three sections, it's more about how much of insight you take from AI and how much human intervention is required. And if you see the rightmost one, where it's very sensitive decision making, probably you just take some inputs, but it is the human who takes the decision, right? So again, it goes back in earlier days thoughts that, hey, is AI going to replace all the jobs? Are we going to lose the jobs? No, nothing like that is going to happen, right? Yeah, we might not have certain mundane jobs, right? But then there will be other things to do. It is definitely going to take a, earlier we used to have people answering questions, now machines are answering questions. Yes, those type of work probably will be done by the machine going forward, but that means that humans are also freed up to do better things. This is again probably something very crucial when it comes to where the investment should go from an organization per se, right? We should not be thinking that, hey, just because I have an AI team, just because I have got people, I have got experts, I have a big budget for this, it will work. No, it's not going to work. Mostly it will not work. That's my experience with working with a few organizations and teams who I just collaborate. I have seen them all struggling. We have built everything, it works, but there is no taker for it. People are not ready. No, we'll see later. Already something is working, why disturb? So on and so forth. Finally, I want to just touch upon probably what are the challenges that we see. And if I have to just talk about top two, one would be data privacy, right? And another is connectivity. When I talk about data privacy, how your governance is, how your compliance is taken care of, and how secure your data is, right? If you see, when we crunch the data, we are generating some new information out of it, right? So you have user data, you have done all your work on top of it, you have got a new insight about the user, right? Do you have his consent to use it? Do you have, so there are so much of compliance implications. If you really work with an European client, you will see that, right? So we need to make sure that the data part is extremely taken care of, otherwise it will sink your ship, right? This is where probably, again, I'm just, taking names here that, they are so crucial, because probably it's not possible for every business organization to figure it out by themselves, right? So you need experts who will come in and help you to do that. Right? From a connectivity perspective, again, Edge, that's why Edge is coming in a big way. But again, understand that what if the network connectivity does not work, right? So biggest, probably the game changer is going to be 5G here, right? The whole world is looking up to 5G to solve this connectivity issue, the last mile connectivity issue. And that's where probably we are going to unleash the power of edge, right? So whether it is cloud edge, whether it is edge AI, everything is going to come together when 5G is really a reality, probably in a remotest place of the world, right? Finally, right, I would just, leave you with this. So what I think is crucial if we have to be successful with our AI journey, right? So first, we need a solid cloud foundation, right? I have all the capabilities in cloud, but all my applications are, nothing is on cloud, right? Is it going to fly? No. Is it simple to move my applications and data to cloud? No, right? If you take any large organizations, there is hundreds, thousands of applications, data, integrations, right? I think the biggest challenge we all see is in terms of integration, right? If we are not on cloud, we are not being able to leverage any of this power that we have. Yes, hybrid is probably one of the ways where you choose what to keep on cloud, what to keep on premise, but you need to have a solid cloud foundation to start with, right? Number two, your data foundation. So optimized data management infrastructure, again, you should not bleed there, right? I have seen teams where we have run into $1 million bills for no reason, absolutely, right? They are just moving data from here, there without realizing paying bills, right? They are thinking they are extremely optimized, but no, right? So extremely important that you have your data security in place, governance, compliance, and so many factors are going to come together to make sure that if you are moving any data on cloud, right, you have everything figured out before you do that. It's a big area. I would say probably it's most crucial part is to make sure that your data is in good hands, right? Third, analytics foundation. So again, gearing towards having the right team, technology, people, processes, all of that, right, in place. And then finally, your governance and operating model. You have 1, 2, 3, you don't have 4, it's not going to work, right? So thank you for your time, right? I enjoyed myself here today, and I'll be happy to collaborate, connect with you anytime, right? Thank you so much. Thanks for having me here. Thank you, guys.